And once I discovered, that was a good idea, what I told you about SkyGeek. Let's have a really good idea, ESP Plus. Once I discovered TOC and realized that I've been wrong for years, I did the analysis for shippers. I looked at our customers' problems. They're mostly manufacturers. They struggle to have what they need to produce their products. Now, what do I know about us? We have this cool software called Elucidate, and it gives us 99.5% on time in full. Is there some pitch that our expertise that only we have, our customers, in other words, can't copy? Is there a pitch? What if we make an offer? We issue their POs for the smallest 10% of the money they spend. Their raw materials come in here to our plant. We receive them, make sure they're right. We deliver to their plant frequently and count their inventory. And we charge a price, 12%. Now, we talked about the cotter pins. It's one of my favorite things. Cotter pins, they spend $100 a year on, but they spend $200 buying them.
Right.
23 different cotter pins. Who knows how many orders a year? Can't sell a D9 bulldozer without a cotter pin in it. So any cotter pin, any single item that's missing keeps them from being able to sell entirely. They can't sell anything without the cotter pins. So here we are in a situation now. We're going to charge them 12% of their cost of goods, and the cotter pin means that their total cost for buying cotter pins, the way they calculate it, is going to go from $300, $100 plus $200 to $112.
That's good.
Go with that. This is not a bad value for them. The bottom 10% means that we're going to give them 12% of the bottom 10%. So that's 1.2% of their purchases, isn't it? And if their raw material costs are half of their selling price, that 1.2% may only be 0.6%. They get more sales, probably 6% more sales, and 50% of that is throughput, and that goes to the bottom line. That's 3% of the bottom line. They take their time they get back, like SkyGeeks, and negotiate better deals from their suppliers, find better suppliers. They get 4% off from their suppliers. But remember, cost of goods is only half of sales. That's 2% of sales. So you get 3% of sales plus 2% of sales. Looks a lot like 5% of sales to me. And they get that for 0.6% of sales. Ooh, holy moly. And we back it up with a guarantee that keeps anybody else from copying us. If your shortages don't drop in half, we'll give you back 10% rebate. If your inventory levels or your turns get worse than they were before, we'll give you a 10% off for that. So we're not going to load you up with inventory. We're going to actually do the right thing. And a shit ton of cash comes back in that they didn't have before. That's enough to pay our fee for years. So it doesn't even cost them any money. They're offsetting our fees against less expedited freight, probably offsets our fees entirely. So it's free. They just get 5%, 3% plus 2% to the bottom line. That's a minimum. And now we can ask them, what do you want to pay? Or we can give them an offer that they say, that's crazy. But we currently are only making on a manufacturer that's $100,000 of purchases a year. We might sell them $250,000 worth of stuff a year that we make 20% on, which is 50 grand. But the fee in this situation is $100 million times 10% that we're going to buy for them. That's $10 million. And 12% of $10 million is $1.2 million.
Right.
So we get $1.2 million instead of 50,000. And I'm just trying to decide in my mind, which do I prefer, $1.2 million or 50,000? $1.2 million or 50,000? Let's see. Maybe I'm going to convert them into the same units of measure so I can really make sure I've got this right. So $1.2 million is 1,200 thousandths. So I want 1,200 thousand or 50,000. Okay, I got the answer.
Wow.
So that's the idea. These great ideas that offer, they're changing the balance of relationships And that's what ESP Plus and our outsourcing do. They completely change the relationships. So instead of having to chisel the customer to try to pay us a little bit more, they're happy to pay us whatever we ask them, or happy to pay us what they're currently paying. And this is the difficulty here, is that it shatters our ability to have mental inertia. And people get really uncomfortable when they have to give up their mental inertia. So that's why new employees like you guys, you and whoever's new is watching this video, new people, you're the people who don't have the mental inertia. So you don't have to start with all the poor preconceived notions that we started with. You get to start fresh with kind of a clean slate. Make sense?
Excellent.
There's your TOC introduction.
That was great.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.